And the idea that someone would make up such a flagrant lie is honestly makes me nervous for that person.
What's going on, you guys? Today we have Emma Vigeland and Sam Cedar. They're responding to Ana Kasparian's lies and accusations. Ana Kasparian is lying on the Majority Report, lying on Emma Vigeland and Sam Cedar, and it gets pretty chippy. Let's watch.
Good as an advertisement in my book, but I hear you.
I will reiterate this. I think our audience knows this. We have never taken a dime from any entity that we didn't fully disclose in the form of advertising. I mean, we don't do a list of who's our members, but you can see, we have had one Sam Cedar member, I think, that's still on the list. We haven't had one. And that was like 10 or 12 years ago. I don't even know the person's last name, but I do know it started with a K, I think. Or maybe that was the last letter on his first name.
Or maybe the first name started with a K and the last name started with H.
I'm pretty sure with an E. And who's that?
Kamala Harris.
Oh. And he did that for a year, and it really made a huge difference in the show. I mean, just the being able to keep the show afloat at that time. But that is it. And the idea that someone would make up such a flagrant lie is honestly makes me nervous for that person.
It's like
even
wellness
though
checks.
I have absolutely no.
She made up a lot. Like the fact that she put that such outrageous lie beneath the lies about like our personal conversation made it pretty obvious that it wasn't true.
Then when I combine that with it was on Twitter at 1 a.m. in the morning.
Eastern time, admittedly.
Yeah.
Oh, it was at Eastern time?
Yeah, it was 11:28 Pacific Standard Time when Anna fired the last tweet. I will still justify that it's the middle of the night.
Nah, but yeah.
I don't think so.
Well, still
it's late evening.
Still fairly late. But with that said, Itov a la Mak Syrah.
So Ana Kasparian was saying that Kamala was paying Emma Vigeland off, Sam Cedar, the Majority Report, to push Kamala's campaign. That's what Ana Kasparian is saying. And she's making a broad claim. We have Emma Vigeland and Sam Cedar saying that that's just not true, that you're just spewing lies at this point. It makes no reason. Like, what story are you trying to push? Are you push that we're a part of this other establishment? It seems so meaningless.
You
That was a funny joke. I saw Matt made a similar joke on Twitter that if you play this interview backwards, it says vote for Kamala Harris, and it was an interview with like a pro-Palestinian voice.
If you actually take apart the Vanguard and rearrange the letters, it spells coconut pill. Did you know that?
True. If you like pina coladas and getting caught in the rain, the Vanguard.
If you hum that backwards, it actually sounds like our theme song.
Yeah, it says look out the door if you hear an ambulance. Yeah, it's crazy. That wasn't all that we heard from the Majority Report, though, Gavin. They followed up the next day with a phone call from friend of the show, Hank, who you guys might remember is working on a documentary. He's Winners and Losers in Chat, and he was a former employee of the Young Turks. He's been a whistleblower. He's long documented Cenk Uyghur's attempt to, break up the union, undermine the union, and a documentary called Tell the Truth, Cenk. And he called into the Majority Report the other day. We won't play probably all of it, but just wanted to give everybody a little bit of a taste. They were giving a platform for this fellow whose name will pop up again later on in the live stream.
Yep, absolutely. And before we get into that, I do just have to say again, it's crazy to me that Ana Kasparian can't just fight this battle in the actual war of ideas, right? As cringy as it sounds, her and Jane keep talking about progressives, they just get so triggered when someone disagrees with them. They can't handle anyone straying from the orthodoxy, right? That's kind of been their whole shtick. And Anna keeps talking about how back when I was infected with the Trump derangement syndrome, it led to me being dishonest, and I feel really bad about that. I spread false news, and I tried to get people emotional for in reasons in retrospect that I don't necessarily agree with. But to see Emma and Sam here just laugh at the lies that have been spread in the last couple weeks about them and their platform, just the completely unprovable fucking lies from Jake and Anna, again, it shows so much regression. It shows so much regression. And again, she literally, Ana Kasparian said she left progressivism because she was
If you guys like this content, subscribe for more stories like this.
Informing people because she was spreading falsehoods and lies on the show, and now she wants to go on to say these things about her former colleagues with no proof whatsoever. Like, do you have any ideas to what would compel someone to do that, Zach? Like, Anna knows that Sam and Emma can debunk this. She knows it's not a fact. She knows she's lying. What's the point in spreading this?
Do you know what the only thing, and this is probably too charitable to Anna, but it's the only thing I can think of. I wonder if her media diet is so poisoned right now that she's been so attracted to anybody that will kind of applaud the Young Turks or validate her POV that she's gone down a weird rabbit hole where she's consuming content from smaller YouTubers that are totally not married to the truth at all. And she's kind of repeating their talking points that they'll deliver about the Majority Report. A lot of misinformation abounds about the Majority Report. A lot of things people will spread about Sam Seder, about his connections to MSNBC, about how he has connections to the Democratic Party, how you can't trust him. And this comes on like the fringe Jimmy Dore left, but it also comes on the right wing. Right. And you see it across the board. And I'm wondering, and again, this could be too charitable for Anna. She could have just been stupid and decided to make something up. But I'm wondering if maybe she heard a smaller YouTube channel make these kinds of accusations like, oh, Emma Vigeland is a trust fund baby and she has all this money and she hides it. And they're taking money over there from Kamala Harris and they're doing Kamala Harris ad reads. And she's tipsy in the middle of the night and she just lets it loose thoughtlessly without thinking to fact check it. She probably thought it was true, but she's so dumb and she was probably a few wine glasses deep or maybe a Xanax deep. I don't know what her proclivities are. Maybe she was smoking a doobie, though that typically doesn't make you so catty on the internet. You know what I mean? And she just fired away without thinking it through and without bothering to fact check it. Meanwhile, it's going to totally nuke her credibility when she says, oh, I just care about getting the facts straight. It's like, no, you don't, dude. You care about like belittling the left, villainizing trans people, and making homeless people less safe in Los Angeles. That's what you care about.
Yeah. Again, it's just mind-blowing that she would say something that's straight up disprovable, something that's straight up she has no evidence.
And I think it's just a clear indicator of how contradictory MAGA has gotten, that now people that even believe their stuff, they're wanting to spew it, wanting to sound like they are also a part of the team, a part of the MAGA team. And, what do you know about criminals? You come from such a wealthy background. But that doesn't have anything to do with wanting the betterment for people, wanting to develop a person. I think it's a big difference between, where you come from, as far as MAGA saying, we're for the people, we're for the working class. It is I believe it's been referred to as a faux populism, whenever really they're still answering, MAGA is answering to anyone who fills their pockets. So they're going to call out people who, you want the system to win, but little do they know, they're the ones, MAGA is the ones that are filling their pockets. They are bowing down to the system.
Evidence for. Like, at least, when Jimmy Dore would go with the low blow against Sam Seder and say, well, you used to take money from MSNBC until they canceled you, right? Until they fired you. So you're clearly just a wannabe Democratic propagandist. And that was a low blow for sure, but at least it was rooted in the fact that, yes, Sam Seder did at one point work for the MSNBC, right? And at one point, the Majority Report was a Peacock affiliated program. So at least there was a kernel of truth there. At least you could kind of cast doubt on their integrity by saying like, oh, you're affiliated with, MSNBC, or it's the same thing they do with Mehdi Hasan, right? Sure. Oh, you were, working for the establishment. At least there's a kernel of fucking truth there. To just say that you're taking money from the DNC or from Kamala Harris when there's no proof of that whatsoever. I mean, that is defamation. That is straight up defamation, like Sam pointed out.
100%. And it doesn't seem like that's a huge concern over at the Majority Report, but I have been enthused by the fact that they're now, taking a more aggressive tone with the Young Turks, You know, they're kind of walking the line between like, I'll swat at them when it's warranted, when they absolutely make me the rest of the time, I'll ignore.
So there we have it, you guys. We have Sam Seder and Emma Vigeland, stating the truth, saying where they're coming from, saying that, this is all lies. Ana Kasparian is saying that Kamala is funding us, when that's just not really true at all. The only person that's getting funded, the only person that's getting money in their pockets is the Peter Thiel funded, the Young Turks, Ana Kasparian and Cenk Uygur. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. It's another day in the progressive way.